So I'm standing out at Hinkley Point with a couple of ex-nuclear industry engineers. We've got Pradeep Indulkar from India and Peter Smith, who used to work at these reactors in the background here at the Hinkley A station. I'd like to ask you what the similarities and differences are between the nuclear industry in India and the UK. Pradeep, if you'd like to start.
Yeah, you see, our nuclear program in both the countries started at the same time. Our program started in 1946, before our independence, and first reactors started almost in same time. India had first Tarapur at 1969, and you had in 1965 somewhere. But the differences is we have all pressurized water reactor, and we have heavy water reactors basically, and you have gas cooled reactors. That's a major difference, but it's almost same now. You have almost 16 reactors and we have 22 reactors now.
Okay, is there anything you'd like to add to that, Peter?
Yeah, no, I would agree with what Pradeep said. We primarily went for gas-cooled technology, and it was really interesting to learn how the program started at the same sort of time, and I wasn't aware of that. There's so much in common really that we have, and the issues are very much the same.
Okay. So another question for you gentlemen is about Areva, the company that designed the European pressurised reactor. I'd just like to ask about Areva's ability to build these reactors, because it's been in the media a lot they're having problems with the design, and it's been said in some quarters that Areva are going bankrupt. So I'd like to ask you your thoughts on their ability to build these reactors in either India or the UK.
Can I just start off by replying in a general sense, in that the nuclear industry, I've worked in the nuclear industry for 30 years, and they always say they work to the world's highest standards, and quality assurance and quality control is a fundamental part of that, and they preach about how high those standards are. And yet if that's how they work, then how come they've got a problem with the material composition of the most critical component of the reactor, the primary pressure vessel? That really must put in question their QA and their quality control for everything they're doing, because this is not something new. Quality assurance, quality control is a fundamental part.
Pradeep, if you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, in India, Areva is at proposal level. Our EPRs, which are proposed at Jaitapur, they are at proposal level. But if you see the history of EPR, in Finland they could not do it. Almost 9-10 years they are doing it. They are trying to do it, but it is not possible. And they blame that, okay, it's an administrative problem. But in their own country, in France and Flamanville, they could not do it. So there is a basic question on their technology. And basically there are many objections on their software part of Areva and EPR. And EPR is, I don't think EPR can work very easily, because it's a high burn-up reactor, and it's very dangerous also, because the burn-up capacity is more. And even if it works, then it will produce a very high level of
radioactivity
activity, and then nuclear waste, and there is no proposal. If you talk about India at Jaitapur, there is no proposal even to handle or store the waste. So it's a whole thing is very much doubtful that whether they are really serious about it, or and then another question is the money, the fund. At least here you are talking about the funding, but in India's proposal, we don't know who is funding and from where the fund will come and all. And in India, especially in India, if you consider all other things like Finland and France and Great Britain, the very specific thing in India is the Liability Act.
Okay.
So in India, we don't know even from where the money is going to come, because it is not clear who is going to finance it.
But it's the same here, Pradeep. George Osborne has gone to China and effectively he's handing out a begging bowl to any country that is prepared to finance nuclear power. It is absolutely madness. We are no better off for funding these incredibly expensive nuclear power plants that a lot of the public don't actually want and we don't need.
And then very specific thing in India, if you consider all other countries like Finland and France and Britain, we have Liability Act now, and though it is very diluted and though the amount is very less, no company is ready for pay.
Thank you very much, Pradeep and Peter.